Hi friends, Mindy here. Today I'm going to be creating some ephemera. This is part of my 100-day project. As you can see, I have already pulled out some of the bases that I have created kind of in the first half of my 100-day project. So basically what you'll be seeing today is 2 days worth of me creating from those pieces, and I kind of switched my focus to starting to try to have some finished pieces. So I started with this journaling card here, and I'm just going to turn this into a tag. I have this punch from We Are Memory Keepers, which is actually quite handy, although you could simply, just trim the corners with, with your scissors, or even create your own template. And then I'm using a lot of the labels from Days Gone By from the Junk Journal Studio to decorate these pages. There's such a good variety of labels in those collections, and there's some that are different colors, and just so I have a lot of those that I'll be using today, and you'll see me inking. But here, and this one just had a lot of texture in the background and from a stencil, and so I didn't really want to cover too much of it up. I did decide to round the very bottom corners of this tag just to give it a little bit more of a finished look. And then I'm just going to add this one little label here on the back. And then if I decide to put something else on this when I actually put this into a journal, then I can certainly do that. But for now, that's basically going to be it. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just creating a bunch of tags and journaling spots today. So this is basically 2 days worth of my 100-day project. I'm using these ephemera pieces from the Paper Studio. I got them at Hobby Lobby. Some of them are really big, and so I'll cut them down, but I just bought this floral pack, and there was just a lot of good images in here that I can use as quick focal points, which is one of the things that I have basically kind of learned working through this 100-day project the way that I'm working through it. I have set a time limit for myself for each day of 15 minutes, and that is not a lot of time. I was actually surprised at how much I could get done when I created all of the bases, because I was just using scraps and everything, and it was kind of an intuitive process, and so things went really quickly. But now that we're gone into the decorating part of all of them, that process just takes a little bit longer, especially because there are so many things, especially in my, craft room, just that I could go through looking for that perfect thing, and you could end up spending the entire time just searching for that right exact thing. So what I have tried to do in lieu of, just searching and scouring all the time so that I can still get quite a bit done every day, is I am sort of starting out with a selection of ephemera. In this case, this is the set from the Paper Studio, and trying to kind of limit my resources just makes that a little bit easier. So you'll see me using the Paper Studio's images, the flowers and butterflies and things, and then the labels from the Junk Journal Studio. I do add in a little bit of Tim Holtz also, but it just worked out really a lot better to do it this way. So this is basically the second day, the second 15 minutes. And so I had these tags that were kind of all the same size. They were cut from the same paper and everything. So I'm just going to try to speed through this a little bit easier by kind of working on them all at the same time. So I'm just going through all of those die cut pieces and finding what works, and then trying to kind of position it, and then I will, glue everything down and ink everything. I found that I was able to still get a good bit done when I did it this way. And having your sort of ephemera, like that little pile over there, helps with sort of some of the decision fatigue that you can happen, especially when you're like counting down on a timer of 15 minutes and you're trying to find something, you're searching frantically or whatever. Just having everything together, and I just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm obviously not going to be using this particular set of ephemera for all of the days that I'm trying to do. But, the next time I do a day, I may use some other ephemera. I may pull out a different set or something and try to use from that, just because I feel like it really just keeps the creativity flowing. And sometimes, it kind of seems counterintuitive, but the more limited your resources, sometimes the more creative it makes you, kind of forces you to think differently. And so you end up, being able to make decisions a little bit faster. I know that seems like a weird idea, but it really does actually work. So having that pile of ephemera and knowing that I was basically using these labels. These are the colored ones, the labels from Days Gone By from Junk Journal Studio. All those links will be down in the description if you're interested. But again, you know, all of these tag bases and everything, these were all made from scraps of paper, just like ends of paper pads and that kind of stuff that I had. I think have some videos. I will link the playlist for my 100-day project, but here is where I pulled out my Tim Holtz just because I needed that kind of really very specific color. And so I just went into my little tidbits pieces from him and just pulled out a couple different things that would work kind of to balance that top right-hand corner and glued those down. I keep those in a book as well, so I don't have to just be, you know, fishing through everything. It was quick to get to those. So, and then just decorated pretty simply. And then I had this other one that I realized I wanted to do as well. It was basically the same paper, and I thought I was going to do this one like on the backside. I was going to decorate the backside because it was just different and it had the darker print. And in the end, I just couldn't make it work with the things that I had. They were just too light and pastel, and it just didn't work in my opinion. I tried several different things, but it was just too busy. That background was just too busy. So I ended up just flipping it over and doing the light side. And then these tags will probably get some like coffee dyed paper or something on the back so that you can write on them. It's sort of the point of is having journaling space. But I ended up just going with another one of these big butterflies. And I love how these kind of looked at sort of tucked down in the corner. And then this is actually a label that I cut on one of the days of my 100-day project. I have a little just punch that makes these labels. And so I went through a bunch of different scraps that I had and created quite a few of those that I feel like will be pretty versatile. And I'm just going to wrap this around to the back. Originally, I was going to cut it off, and then I thought it would add a little bit of interest on the back side as well. And then, like I said, I will put some coffee dyed paper or a journaling spot or something on the back so that you can still have some writing space back there. But and then I can add later on, you know, word or phrase or something if I feel like it needs it. But I did pull out a couple snippets that match that color of the butterfly and just put them inside that label just for a little bit more interest. And again, just kind of, you know, balancing everything out. So in the end, I think I ended up out of these 2 days getting 4 pieces of ephemera finished, which I felt like, or no, excuse me, I 4 a day. So I got 8 total. And here are some close-up shots of those. So if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.